Hello everyone, Alaska Prepper here. So do you guys want to hear a story? About, I don't know, 7, 8, 9 months ago, I did a video where I got 6 cases of cold weather MREs. And what I've been doing since then is I've been on the lookout at Craigslist. And every time I see someone, or every time I've seen someone in that time period selling a box or 2 or even 3 I've gotten lucky with of cold weather MREs, I've jumped on them. And I got a total of 30 cases, which equals 360 MREs. And the best part of it is that I averaged paying roughly $2.50 per MRE. Now, I'm not sure if you guys know or not, but these MREs are kind of a premium. The reason they are is because they all come with an entree that is a freeze-dried meal from Mountain House. So I think I did really good being patient over the last several months and looking for the good deals. And that's why I always say that slow and steady wins the race. Now, why did I take all these MREs out of the boxes? Because it takes up so much room. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate all of these MREs into entrees, desserts, drinks, and accessory packets. So ladies and gentlemen, I thought I'd take a couple of minutes and show you guys what exactly comes in these MREs. I went ahead and picked out a breakfast MRE, which is scrambled eggs with cheese, Western style. Now they have several types of breakfast MREs. Like one of them is this one. The other one is a breakfast skillet that comes with hash browns, scrambled eggs, and it also has like sausage pieces in there. And then they have just a scrambled eggs with bacon in it as well. So this is just one of 3, I believe, that they offer for breakfast. And then they have several like dinner type entrees. And the one that I'm going to open up here to show you all is the chicken spicy oriental with rice. But let's go ahead and open up the breakfast one first, and I'll tell you what it is that I'm doing and how I'm dividing them up. Easier. You can rip these pretty easy, but it's a lot easier when I'm opening so many of these to just cut them with some scissors. So the first thing we're going to have is a really thick mylar. These mylars are really thick. And in this one, of course, it comes with a Mountain House. And that's one of the main reasons why I scooped up as many MREs as I have that are cold weather, because they all come with a Mountain House main entree. And I do believe I remember reading somewhere not too long ago that Mountain House certified their freeze-dried meals to up to 40 years now, because they've been in business for more than 40 years, and they put aside some of their very first freeze-dried meals and they opened them up and they were still good after 40 years. So these here were manufactured in 2018. So they're only a year old, and they're gonna last a very long time. And hopefully, you know, I won't have to use them, but we dip into these every once in a while and use them. I like to keep a few in my truck and a few in my wife's truck, full MREs that I haven't taken apart, just to have them there, because these can get frozen. So what I'm doing is I'm separating the main entrees, as you probably already saw. And it comes with a chocolate hazelnut cocoa beverage powder. In addition to, I believe this is an orange drink. It's just your, you know, garden variety orange drink. This one comes with a Pop-Tart, is what I'm going to call it. They call this a brown sugar cinnamon toaster pastry, but it is a Pop-Tart. All right, so I separate the Pop-Tart and I put it into the dessert box. All right, so I put these into the dessert box. And then I actually put this into the box where I'm putting all my drinks. And then things like this, like these are cheddar cheese pretzels. They're I forgot the name of them. They're the little round pretzels with cheddar cheese in the middle. I take these and I put them in my like side items, because these make like good snacks and things like that, but it's not necessarily a dessert or part of the main entree or anything like that. So I put them in like my side items. And then this one right here, even though this is really kind of like a breakfast cereal, but this is the Mountain House granola with milk and blueberries. And if you guys have seen any of my previous videos where I reviewed this, this is probably my very favorite item that Mountain House makes, because this is so very delicious. And it's more like a dessert to me. So I put this in the dessert pile. And then it also comes with, let's see, what is this? A maple muffin top. I also put this in the dessert pile. And then it comes with your accessory packet that has a towelette in it. It's got toilet paper or napkins. It's got sugar, salt. I like that each of these come with a pack of matches, some gum, and it also comes with some coffee. And this is actually pretty good coffee. It's not freeze-dried coffee. It's powder coffee. They spray it through a nozzle that puts out a fine mist of coffee, and it gets air dried. So that's what this is. It is like a powder coffee. And then what else is in there? Let me see. And it also comes with a little packet of hot sauce. So I put this into my accessory box as well as this. And then what I plan on doing with the accessory bags and with the drinks is I plan on storing those outside, because they really don't need refrigeration. So let's go ahead and give you a quick look at what this main entree comes with, which is a dinner entree. This one here is Oriental style spicy chicken with vegetables and rice. And ladies and gentlemen, believe it or not, these are going for like $10 or more on Amazon if you just buy this. So I think I did really good in taking my time and getting these a little bit at a time. Now, some of you may ask, where do these people get these from that sold them to you? So a lot of these, if not most of them, I got a few of them from yard sales and things like that. But a lot of these, when they sell them, it is either service members that are PCSing or prior service members. And what happens is this: when you're in the Army, and I can only talk about the Army, I don't know about any other forces, how they handle this. You get an entitlement which is called BAS, Basic Allowance for Subsistence. And that money is supposed to go to you so that it can help you buy your food, the service member the food that they eat every month. And when you go to the field, let's say that you're living off base and you're collecting BAS and you have to go to the field for 2 weeks. Well, while you're in the field, the Army feeds you. They feed you 2 hots and 1 MRE. Normally, they'll feed you a hot meal at breakfast. They give you an MRE for lunch, and then they'll feed you a hot meal at dinner time. And if any of those hot meals are skipped, they usually replace it with an MRE. So what a lot of service members do is, and I used to do this myself, is when I went to the field, they would shut off my BAS, my Basic Allowance for Subsistence, because they were feeding me. So they're not going to pay me to eat and then feed me, because that's double dipping. So what happens is when you go to the field, they shut off your BAS and they feed you. Well, a lot of people, what they do is they just eat breakfast and dinner, and they don't eat lunch, and they just save their MREs. And that's how a lot of the MREs that I came across from were allocated. It's just people saving up their MREs because they didn't want to eat them in the field. Maybe they'd had too many MREs. When you've been in the Army so long, you get tired of MREs. You really do. So they just hold on to them, and they're like, hey man, these are mine, I'm taking them. And then they do whatever they want with them. In my case, the ones that I found, they wanted to sell them, and I bought it from them. And also, you'll find some at yard sales now and then, but it's usually pretty difficult to find a full case at yard sales. And there's also some like pawn shops and like military outpost shops, you know, like a pawn shop, but it's like military stuff that they have in there that sell them as well. And whenever I seen these that were a really good price, I try to average $30 or less per case, because at $30 a case or less, I'm only paying $2.50 per MRE. So that's what I did. And like I said, it took me, I don't know, the better of 8-9 months to accumulate all these. But now I think I have enough to where I put these away. They'll be good for a very long time, and I'm pretty satisfied with how much I paid for them. So this one comes with an apple cinnamon energy bar, and these are actually pretty darn good, to tell you the truth. So I put this in the desserts box. And then it comes with a beverage, tropical punch, pretty much just like Hawaiian punch style or Kool-Aid. And I don't know why they still put these in there, but they still do. These are, they're not really my favorite, but these are cranberry slices, dried cranberry slices. The reason they're not my favorite is because I think they add a lot of sugar to it, and these things are super sweet. And yep, you can see, you may not be able to see it, but the second ingredient is sugar. After cranberries, the second ingredient is sugar. So they're like really super sweet and tart. They're not terrible, but they're just not my favorite. And then let's see what else this one comes with. This one comes with like a nut and raisin mix. So it's kind of like a trail mix. And I put the trail mix in like my snacks box. And I think that was it. Let's see if we forgot it. Nope, that's it. So that's what these usually come with the exception, like all of your dinner meals usually come with everything that you saw there and a different entree. And then you may have a different flavor energy bar in there, but it'll still have an energy bar. You may have a soup, like a ramen noodle soup that it comes with, you know, instead of one of your other side items. So they're pretty versatile, and I personally think that the Army should just go to these and get rid of the old MREs, the ones that come in the brown packet, because these are so much more palatable. They're lighter, and the only drawback to having these is that you have to have hot water in order to cook your entree or heat up your entree, because like I said, it's a mountain house. All right, so let's go back and finish getting these done. So ladies and gentlemen, so far we've gotten this far. We've unpacked about 2/3 of our cold weather MREs, as you can see there. And we've got about 12 boxes left to go. Now what this is going to do, for those of you that may be wondering, is it's going to allow me to save up about half of the room that the boxes were taking up. By me doing this, I'm going to be able to keep the items inside the house that I need or feel should be inside the house, like the meals and the desserts and such. Oh, sorry about the light, lady. And then be able to put outside in my trailer the things that I don't think need to be temperature controlled, like the accessory packets and the drink mixes. That's going to save me a lot of room inside, and I'll be able to utilize some room outside of the house that I have empty, just sitting there with nothing in it. So what I did was I separated pretty much all of the items from the MREs into separate boxes, and then I'm going to organize these into the black and yellow totes that I just showed you. So what I separated them into was what I consider dessert. Like these First Strike energy bars, they're supposed to be nutrition energy bars, but to me they're like dessert. Same thing with the granola blueberry, the Mountain House granola and blueberry. That is such a good thing. It's supposed to be like a breakfast item, but to me I consider that a dessert because it's so good and it's sweet. And then I split it up also into all the crackers, the cheeses, you know, all those other side items that an MRE has. That way I can take all of these and transport them into the yellow totes and keep them inside of the house. So this is where we've gotten so far. Last night I enlisted the help of Mrs. Alaska Prepper and Little Miss Alaska Prepper, and we actually had a pretty good time for about an hour and a half or so doing this. Although towards the end, Little Miss Alaska Prepper was like, "I'm tired." I'm like, all right. But she did a really good job, and we all got this done. Victor was working. So this is what I've got so far. I'll bring you guys along when I've got everything sorted out and ready to put away. That way you guys can see how everything turned out. Ladies and gentlemen, we are done. And when I say we, is that this was a Little Miss Alaska Prepper and AP project. Mrs. Alaska Prepper helped a little bit last night, but she had to go to work today. And I'm going to show you everything that we got out of those 30 boxes of MREs. So I divided them up into categories, and you're going to see how much food is actually in those MREs. So this bin here has nothing but desserts, or what I like to call desserts. It's got these energy bars that are very sweet, so I like to call them desserts. It also has cookies, cakes, and fig bars. So that's full of nothing but those things. I've got an entire bin of nothing but drinks. This has nothing but drinks. This bin here is my breakfast bin. This has probably close to 100 or so breakfast entrees with crackers, tortillas, one of my very favorite, if not my very favorite, Mountain House item, which is the granola with milk and blueberries. So there's a mess load of all of those things in there. And it also has cheese spread. This one here is nothing but dinner entrees. And then this one here is nothing but dinner entrees as well. And then you can see all of the accessory packets that we got out of those. And I left one full box of MREs intact. And that MRE there was hiding under the couch after we got everything done. So it saved itself. So now all I have to do is find 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spots for these bins inside my house. And that I have, because what I did in my pantry was I got rid of all of my paper products, and I'm getting rid of a lot of my number 10 cans that can be stored elsewhere. That's in a temperature controlled environment. I think you guys saw that video if you've been with me for a little bit. So I'll be able to make room for 5 of these bins inside my pantry where it's temperature controlled all year round and no problem. So now, ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted to show you this. Look at all this food. Look at all this food right here. I just want to put this into perspective for you. See all of this food. This here is roughly 70 days worth of food for a family of 4. Now take that into perspective. And granted, this food here is freeze-dried food. So if it wasn't freeze-dried, like for example, if the proteins and vegetables and stuff like this inside of these were already hydrated, it would be taking up probably 3 times as much room. So look at all the food that it takes for a family of 4 to survive only 2 months, or a little more than 2 months. So I just wanted to put that into perspective, how much food you actually require to survive just for 2 months. But ladies and gentlemen, check this out. The good news is that if you're not prepping yet, or if you're on the verge of wanting to start to prep, this is actually doesn't take that much room. This is a closet. So this is telling you right here that if you have a closet that you can convert into a prepping closet where you keep just sustenance, all right? I'm not talking about all of the other prepping items that we may need, like, heat, a way to cook, water filters and things like that. But if you're just prepping sustenance, this should be encouraging to you as well, because it shows you that in one closet of your house, and not even a big closet, you can store enough nutrition to feed a family of 4 for 2+ months, for around 72 to 76 days, depending on how many calories you want to take in. So I hope that this is encouraging to you all that are on the verge of prepping, and also encouraging to you all that are already prepping and have been prepping, so that you can maybe look at ways around your house or your apartment, wherever you live, and look at ways where you can make a little bit more room to prep some more. Because ladies and gentlemen, you all know I'm not a doom and gloomer, but I truly do believe that what the future holds for us will be, extensive price hikes in foods, and then eventually maybe some food shortages. I know there's some channels out there that are saying we don't have a food shortage, we don't have really high price hikes and things like that. But what I see with my eyes is that prices are rising, number one. And even though we don't technically have a food shortage right now, we don't, because we're still living off of last year's food. But wait till about the middle to end of next year, when we realize that this year's harvest was not that great. And more than likely, we won't have a great harvest next year as well, due to the weather/climate conditions that we are undergoing, the cycle that we're beginning. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go ahead and sign off, because this was a very big project for me. I'm very lucky that Little Miss Alaska Prepper was willing to help. And for that, I'm going to give her an MRE that she can have all for herself. So having said that, thank you very much for joining in. I truly appreciate you all joining in. For those of you that are still here and are my VIPs, thank you very much for always stopping along and spending a few minutes with me of your day every time that I put up a video. So thank you very much for that. To all of the new subscribers, I hope you're enjoying the platform and the content, but more so, I truly do hope that you are enjoying the community that has been built around this platform. The community is what makes it what it is. Without the community and without the awesome people that we have here in the Alaska Prepper community, this would be nothing. So thank you all for making it what it truly is. And it is a great community. Having said that, remember to be good to each other. When good people do good things happen. Remember to reach one, teach one, and repeat. If we all did this, the world would be a better place, and you know that it will be a better place. Dog, you want to say hi? Come on, girl. Sit. Come here. Come here. Sit. Sit. Good girl. Give me your paw. Good girl. Say hi. Say bye. No, she's looking for food. Many blessings to all of you and your families. This is Alaska Prepper, and I am.
Dad, forgot to show them all the M&Ms we got.
Well, I didn't want to show this on video in case your mother saw it. You're not going to let her know about this, are you?